Hi, welcome to Waterfall and Agile process session. Let us have an overview of key software development methodologies. The methodology Waterfall and Agile methodology. The Waterfall methodology in 1970, Winston R. Race, he published a paper. From there, industry adopted that methodology. From 1970 to 1990, waterfall method was main method. Large industries adopted and built many projects. Late 90s to 2001, many people in the industry became really frustrated because of the waterfall method, and many projects got abandoned. The main reason is the waterfall method doesn't allow changes in scope. Once the scope or requirements are delivered, I mean, published, then it doesn't allow to change the scope. And a second reason is lack of transparency. Because of that, people got frustrated. In 2001, that is the time the Agile Manifesto published. So if you take up any typical software project, so these are the steps followed. This is the process rather like the project initiated, then there's a team develop the concept, the planning team, they plan it, finally pass on to requirements team, they gather the requirements, and then that information they pass on to design team. The designs once ready, they will move on to development team, and finally it comes to testing, right? The testing you can see at the end. But here we see that system requirements team, they develop some documentation, they pass on to the software requirements team, and then they will pass on to analysis. They will build some more documentation, and the analysis team then pass on to design team. Design team then they will analyze the requirements. Of then they started building like a lot of diagrams like class diagrams, like state diagrams, sequence diagrams, activity diagrams. So a lot of documentation they produce. Finally, they will pass on to coding team, right? Then the coding team, they will understand all these things. They develop the code. Then once the coding is done, then move pass on to a testing team. So till now, the testing team doesn't have any clue what these teams are doing. So whatever the code they pass on to these people, they testing team start, and then they will send it to for a release or something. There are operations we can call it. So, see, the collaboration of every team, they're working in silos. They're not interacting with other teams. This is the waterfall process. Because of this, there's one example is project management, right? How there's the misunderstanding of teams, end product, how it looks like. Here, the customer wanted this kind of end product, but when he explains, this is the way he explains to the developers, right? So this is actually he wanted this, but he explained this way, and the project manager understand this way. The developer builds this way, and finally tester tests this way. But never it will come to, I mean, that end product built like this end product, and the documentation will be like this. This is one example when the teams doesn't have collaboration. This is how the products. We can see some more examples. Here we see that there's a team, they built the balcony, and the other team they built the wall, and this guy built the wall balcony, but he doesn't even seeing there should be a door here, right? And just he built the balcony. My job is to build the balcony. I don't care whether the door is there or not, like that, right? This is one example when there's no interaction between the teams. And another example, you build a product, but you're not testing in all the conditions, right? Example, the Starbucks van. When the door is closed, the brand name appears very nicely. When the door opens, see the what kind of meaning it's giving. So we have to test it in different conditions. When door open, door close, how it looks like the brand name is giving any damage to the brand or something, right? This looks something not good, right? So like that, we can see some more examples. Here, there's a team is supposed to fix the door. They came and fixed the door, and another team they came and fixed the staircase. And this team, the staircase team, is not bothering about what the other team did. My job is as per requirements. I build my scope. This is my scope to build the staircase. I got. So like that mismatches you can see. And here we can see that the one team, they fix the door frame, and there somebody has to come to fix the doors, and the split doors they fix. So here, so because of that, the three locks, three keys, kind of shabby, right? This is the kind of so some of the examples you can see that, and you guys might be very furious. Okay, you're talking about very bad about waterfall. Can you give me some examples where the projects failed because of the waterfall? Let us have a look, and I'll come in that. First, let me discuss about waterfall characteristics. We saw that the everything process follows in sequential and is very linear process, and requirements once the I mean finalized, the freeze, then the requirements change is not allowed, and heavy documentation. We saw that team to team, the documentation increasing, and the testers are, yeah, they're coming, they're beginning of the discussions, they're not part of the I mean discussions, so they're coming at the end. And no iteration, the feedback also, once the product delivered, the tested, and when the customers see that, and they'll give the feedback. In between, intermittent feedback is not there. And yeah, as I said, so you can ask me, okay, waterfall, you said there's so many issues with that methodology, are there any projects failed? There are a lot of projects, but I'm trying to bring three, four projects to for the discussion sake. Okay, FBI, they wanted to build outdated case management system in early 2000, right? And they spent about 170 million for this project. The requirements locked early, but after 9/11, the requirements are changed. I mean, the requirements before 9/11, after 9/11, totally different. But here, the requirements are locked. So the time software is ready, but is addressing the old requirements, is not at all addressing the present situation. So no working software delivered, uh, uh, though they took a lot of time. The project totally got, the outcome is project totally got scrapped in 2005. Again, they built using the Agile based methodology. They built Sentinel project, which is finally is completed and working fine. This is one of the examples we can say that because of waterfall, why the project got scrapped. And let us say UK government, they wanted to build a national program for IT that's called NPFIT. They wanted to digitize the health records. But these people assume the records and they don't have, I mean, they thought whatever the knowledge they have enough for project. And see that how much money they spent. They spent 6.2 billions. But the time duration 2000 to 2011, almost 9 years, because of that, when the time is increased, the cost is also increased. And because of long development cycles, and the stakeholders are not involved and not engaged iteratively, so the project also largely got abandoned. This is one more example where because of the so stakeholders not involvement or requirements not properly addressed. This is one more example. Let us see one more example. Denver Airport, they wanted to build automated all baggage handling. So the baggage handling system they want to develop in 1990s, right? And they spend about 560 million dollars. But finally, what happened? See here, 16-month delay, and the cost increased to 1 billion thing. So here, the design in waterfall, and there was no generally any project we build a working prototype or something. That way we come to know the project has any dependencies, complexity, or any issues or something. Nothing built there. They move on that, and later the last minute changes came, but the team is not ready to adopt that. There is the waterfall failed. Only part of the system is working, but remaining the software is not working, as much of it got abandoned. Okay. Now you guys, does it mean waterfall does not at all useful and is very bad? We cannot at all use it, use in the industry or something? No, I'm not saying. Still, waterfall, when you have a project, it has a scope, goals, deliverables are fixed, right? These three are well understood upfront. Then you can go for waterfall. And also, if the small project, a small duration, the project goes. But mainly, where regulatory and compliance projects, right? the waterfall is the best for that. They need a lot of documentation for approvals and all. So definitely waterfall is good for like pharma, medical, and maybe healthcare, all those projects, or maybe some of the defense projects also. They made a lot of documentation. Then that will be good. Waterfall generally shoots where no continuous feedback is required, and also stakeholders are busy and you don't want them to be right. Then such cases, waterfall is best. But where is not required in the opposite way, what we can say is when the requirements are really changing, and you wanted incremental results, and you wanted continuous feedback. Those are the situations, and you want the results quickly. This and that's those situations, waterfall is not suggested. Then we can go for agile. So in project management, we talk about triple constraints, majorly three items. One is the scope, time, and cost. Right here, we can see that we have been talking in waterfall. Once the requirements are frozen, and if there are any important changes you want to make, the scope change is not uh, allowed. That means the scope is fixed. But what happened? Let us say I wanted to deliver 100 items in 1 year, right? But the problem is we are not able to deliver. Then what will happen? The 1 year, that's a 12 months schedule, right? Maybe increase to 2 more months, or maybe increase to 4 more months, 5 more months. That means the 100 items want to be delivered, but the time is a short time. Then the time is increased. Then when the time increases, automatically what happens? The cost increases. So that means in waterfall, the scope is fixed and the time can be flexible. And once the time is flexible, automatically cost is flexible. The cost is going to increase, right? So now let us come to Agile framework. So as I said, like an Agile framework came in 2001 with when people have got frustrated with waterfall, and from 2000 to till today, there's many widely adopted by industries. Still, the waterfall used along with Agile. That's what we've been saying. So the main reason again, see some of the requirements we keep on talking because I want you to register this why Agile is adopted over the waterfall. Again, the scope can be adjustment. If the scope changes are there, then we'll be flexible to accept the requirements. And so is the incremental and iterative process. We are not like 2 years, 3 years we are doing. We are in short period and small goals. So we are achieving and we are reviewing with the customer and getting the feedback, and we are implementing. So early ongoing stakeholders, that's what the stakeholders are there throughout the project. They will be coming and checking how the project going on, right? There will be continuous project and minimal sufficient, and there's no bundles of documents here. The only documents is very limited. So thank you very much for watching this video. In next video, let us discuss more about Agile methodology. Thank you. Thank you very much.